While Coach Young is snoring away, ladies and gents, yours truly is hard at work on the exercise equipment, the treadmill, the stair climber, all these things here in the hotel near the Henrico Sports Events Center. Got to get that work every day. Got to get that work every day. And as my buddy D Nice likes to say, it's deeper than the game. Catch you later. Back to work.
757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
It is 757 Sports Talk on this midnight, late evening, early morning edition from Saturday into Sunday. We've never done this after 12 midnight, so anything goes on this episode. Don't worry, we will attempt to keep it clean as we are in Richmond. This was supposed to be an early morning episode, but as you just heard, Coach decided to get some wink, should I? Are you all rested and ready to go for the final day of this extravaganza before we make our way back from the 804 to the 757 here on 757 Sports Talk? This is going to be a shortened show, but we're going to cram in a lot of good stuff, we hope.
Yeah, good greeting to all. That intro was the biggest fake BS that I could say cleanly. He walked into the fitness room, jumped on there, acting like he's been in there for hours. He was in the breakfast eating bagels, donuts, cereal, whatever other stuff they had. Meanwhile, I was trying to get a few winks to have a restful, long day at the Henrico Center with from 9 a.m. till we came back about 10:30, 11 o'clock. So full day of work. So don't let this fool in the pool blind you with his fool on the treadmill, just so everybody understands that.
You know, you got issues. You really do. But we want to thank all those people out there that are watching through YouTube and IG and all the various platforms. In fact, I see some of our coaching friends. I can shout people up at midnight. Who cares? Why not? I'm going to shout them out. Football watching?
You're telling me it's way past midnight. And
they're watching us. Yeah. I'm going to shout them out. I'll shout them out. Coach Men, shout out to him.
They have to be worse off.
My man, Coach Rowe from ODU, shout out to Coach Rowe. I'm shouting everybody out that's watching us past midnight. But we're going to get to a couple items because I know Ed wants to get off his thoughts on the Mets firing off his chest. He's not into the World Cup soccer. He was hating it last week. Lionel Messi's just killing it. If you haven't
not hating it.
You are hating it.
I am not a lover of it like some people.
By the way, we won't say what our hotel is. I've counted 9 people. This, by the way, because, I did get breakfast and I did do the exercising, but I've counted 9 different people with soccer World Cup jerseys in our not even full 3 days here. 2 days, 9 people wearing World Cup jerseys. So you can say what you want about it. People are into it, even if it's not our cup of tea. And we will talk a little high school hoops with what's going on that. And I think we're going to save the Brendan Sorsby stuff for another time because we're going to get a guest on about that. That Brendan Sorsby story is just unfolding like crazy, He's not going to play at Texas Tech. He is going to play at Texas Tech. He's going to get his supplemental draft. No, he's not going to be a supplemental draft. There's not going to be a supplemental draft. That whole thing is just chaotic. But like I said, I've been busy not just watching basketball and doing interviews, which you'll see a couple of them here on the show, and pumping iron. I've just been busy all over the place, and Ed's been just snoring away. I mean, look, we've got video evidence right here.
By the way, folks, while I continue to pump iron and jog and all these great things to get my exercise, get the heart pumping, the blood flowing, I want you to notice that here, we don't quite have 8 towels left. We need more towels. Need more towels.
A little different than our adventure in Springfield 2 weeks ago, though. A little different.
Don't start to mess with the towels. Again,
but you can tell people about what was driving me nuts on Saturday. What was driving me nuts was that I didn't have one of these things.
This fool loses his hotel room card.
I did.
Key. Now, most people, once they get them, they don't even use them. They throw them out. Lose. It doesn't matter. You can get it replaced when you come back to the hotel. He's running around the Henrico Sports Center asking people, did they see a hotel card? He's asking college coaches who are trying to watch games, players who don't even know who he is, fans that look at him like he's creepy. Get away from me. I don't feel comfortable. One fan did that. They told him, get away from me. I don't feel comfortable. And the fans started running. And I said to him, you can get another card. I have a card. We go back, not a big deal. Because, see, I left mine right where I knew.
It's the principle of the thing. It's not a matter of getting another card.
Here he's worried about something like that when he puts on these ridiculous fool in the pool. And that's the stuff we need to lose, not the card.
By the way, I did bring my swim trunks, but I don't know that this hotel's got a pool or not. And we don't have enough time, honestly.
Yeah, 9 to 9. It's open 9 to 9. You missed. That's why I didn't tell you, because I knew you'd jump in and want to probably do the show from there.
It's 9 to 9?
It was open 9 to 9. I heard the guy at the desk tell somebody else.
Jeez.
So I just kept my mouth shut because I figure don't invent problems.
Man. Well, Mendoza is no longer managing the Mets, who got themselves a win on Saturday night. And my quick reaction to that for a second is that, and by the way, we got our high school football fans right there on YouTube. They're into it. They get the notification. They jump into the show. I mean, people say they love high school football year-round, by the way. Thank you to Sports Talk Q9Z out there. But I think they waited too late to make the move. And you're going to always defend your coaching brethren. It don't matter what sport it is, folks. I'm the guy that's – I'm not anti-coaches, but I come down hard on the coaches. Ed will go to bat for any and every coach possible because he's in the coaching profession. Hatfield doesn't know what it takes to coach. He's just nodding his head already. And sometimes look, listen, and I'm eating crow now because I didn't think the change for who they made the change was the right move. Tom Thibodeau to Mike Brown. And Thibodeau, I think, is as good a coach, if not better than Mike Brown. And Mike Brown did a very good job, and I was critical of some things he did. But he utilized the bench, which the Knicks had to do, and it paid off. It paid off brilliantly as they overcame a 2-1 deficit against the Hawks and won the championship and had all those crazy comebacks throughout the playoffs. Game 1 against the Cavs and 4 double-digit deficits erased against the San Antonio Spurs in the finals. But in the case of the Mets, I don't know that Mendoza, a former coach on the Yankees staff, by the way. You take a guy that was with the New York Yankees and you take him to the Mets. You say, sprinkle fairy dust is going to start winning games. Hocus pocus junk is what I say. But they're now 35-48. That's more than halfway through the season. They basically do it at the halfway point. I just think it was a month too late. And they had to make some changes. I think more of the blame falls on the management with Cone and with his Golden Boy GM that came from Milwaukee. We know about him, Mr. Stearns. But ultimately, they're one of the bigger disappointments in a city that is clamoring for championships. They got one with the Knicks. The Giants used to bring them a couple Super Bowls. The Jets have been miserable. The Mets have become miserable. And now it's an uphill climb. And I don't think they're gonna. This season to me it's basically done. They're not catching the Braves, the Phillies. I don't see them being a playoff threat. What did you make of the move? It's funny. You said right before it got announced on Friday on our way up, he's going to get canned, and he got canned. But I thought he was going to get canned 3-4 weeks ago, and he didn't get canned then.
To that, I agree with you. If you're going to remove him, it should have been about a month ago.
Yeah.
Now means nothing. Andy Green, by the way, was elevated, I think, from bench coach to manager. Andy Green's a former infielder for your D-backs, and I think one or two other teams, I think San Diego. I don't think he has any managerial experience. He'll be there till the end of the season. Then he'll be let go, and they'll try to bring in somebody. When they put this team together and they try to bring in some heavy hitters, starting with Juan Soto, giving them 3 planets and 2 universes, and they named Mendoza as manager. I said at the time, Mendoza's a tremendous coach. Don't think he's a manager, especially for the high visibility job of the Mets and who they're bringing in. You need to go with a veteran, somebody that doesn't matter, pushing a few buttons, and get that team out of their starstruck status, and let's get playing baseball. High salaries, big salaries. You don't bring in a guy with his first managerial job who's going to tiptoe through the tulips, who's going to be buddy with the stars, And this is the result you get.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't like it when it's the manager's fault. And everybody says, well, we hate to fire the guys because they're good people, but somebody got to go and you can't fire 25 players. Yes, you can. Eat some crow, eat some contract, get rid of some knuckleheads if they really weren't playing right, if you could pinpoint one or two, and show that we're sticking with the guy that we hired. But it's never going to happen. So this is what you come up with. And you almost always in these situations, they get the complete opposite of what they just hired. So look for the Mets to hire a veteran manager next year to get it back on track. And
well, they want Cora, who got fired early in the season by the Boston Red Sox.
And I can see that.
Cora's taking his time. He might revisit that situation. I think he said no to the Phillies and ended up giving the job to who did they give the job to for Boston? Help me. I'm drawing a blank on who they gave the job to.
Tracy.
Chad Tracy. Chad Tracy. I was getting ready to say
son of Jim Tracy.
I was getting ready to say Andy Tracy, if you remember him. But
I'm surprised you didn't say Dick Tracy, one of my favorite comics, the favorite comic strip.
We saw him a couple weeks ago at VHSL Live. That's 24 times.
Yeah, Dick Tracy. He's coaching. I was wondering what happened. He's coaching.
But look, the Mets are they're a mess. They're really a mess. And
biggest disappointment in baseball, no question. Biggest disappointment in baseball with that kind of salary. You know, they had the one game with the 6 errors, and I think that's what finalized Steve Ballmer, the owner, to say, okay, this got to go. We can't keep it. It became a laughingstock, and so be it. Yeah. So now we see what they tread the rest of the year, and they're not going to win a division, and they're not going to be a wild card. It'll be a disappointment. And now, will they get rid of some players? Not the big salary people. They're not going to eat those salaries. I'm not sure who their free agents are. They'll make a few changes. But, it is what it is. It's a shame. And Mendoza will be a coach next year with somebody. Are they cooking egg breakfast in the background? No. There's nobody in the background.
There was.
Oh, there was. But I don't see anybody there now. Anyways, he will not. Mendoza will be coaching somewhere. He will not be managing next year.
Probably right. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. It's been a crazy week in baseball. Some of the leads have been blown, 4 or 5 run leads left and right. I mean, it's been a wild and wacky week in baseball. Stick around. We've got more coming up on 757 Sports Talk and Cova Sports TV, and we're going to give you some sound from East Coast Live. We were at VA Live 2 weeks ago at the St. James facility in Springfield. That featured about 90 high school, public school basketball teams. This event that we're covering, you see Ed wearing the BCAV swag, involving VHSL, Virginia High School League public school teams, and VISAA private school programs, plus a lot of out-of-state talent. We'll give you a quick rundown of some of the standouts, and I'll get Ed's quick hitter thoughts on some players he's seen as well, and we'll tackle what else is happening in the world of sports before we bid adieu. Probably before 1 a.m. because they'll probably kick out of the lobby and the lights will be shut off here on the podcast. Hatfield in the dark.
That is the best. That is the best you've looked ever.
Stop. But where are they watching?
They are watching right now on the Saturday Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, subscribe.
Now this from those that help make it possible. Stay tuned.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
Cova Painting. We don't just paint, we transform spaces. Visit covapainting.com or call 757-550-7357 and mention the Sportsplex for 10% off of projects over $1,000.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever! The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Bacon cheeseburger for a limited time, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. Yeah, this is not the time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. And there's bacon on that burger. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Now for a limited time on the $7 meal deal lineup. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
What does happiness mean to you?
Being in the ocean with you, watching you catch super fun waves.
In Virginia Beach, happiness is breaking barriers and savoring the sunshine.
I couldn't pick a better place or a better person to be with. This is what makes me happy.
Happiness is going all out.
And taking it all in.
Here, happiness is whatever you make it. Find yours in Virginia Beach.
All right, here with Petersburg class of 2028 guard Kelvin Pop Anderson, 29 points, 6 threes as his team outlasts Myers Park. And a thriller here at overtime, 65-55 at the East Coast Live in Richmond. Get ready for your junior campaign, Pop. This is an exciting down-the-wire game. It's got to make you guys better, doesn't it?
Yes, sir, it does. It definitely does.
What did you take from this? It's always a jam-packed atmosphere when you all with the Crimson Wave roll in, or even when you play with Team Loaded. But certainly this one had a little extra in motivation to it, didn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing to see all the people come out and let us know that we are respected in the city and we are a team to watch, and that's a blessing.
First state championship in 52 years for Petersburg coming off this past winter, and you made a change in schools from Catholic to Petersburg. Before we get to that, though, your nickname is Pop. Tell us how you got that nickname.
When I was about 1, my parents nicknamed me Papa because they thought I was an old man. I had an old soul. I walked old. Okay. They just thought I was an old man. So that's where Papa came from. They shortened it to Pop.
So for shortened from Papa to Pop, what you like better, Pop or Pop?
Either one is cool. You know, people switch it up from time to time. Either one is amazing.
We wrote recently, even said on our broadcast in the NFHS Network during the championship, that we felt your coming out party was the state championship game. You had 3 threes in that game, 11 points. Today in the first half, you were cooking. How much do you just feel more comfortable and confident in your jump shot and your overall offensive game?
Every day I get in the gym with my coaches, and I work hard every day. I get workouts in every day, and my coaches trust me and put me in great positions, and my teammates as well. My teammates show up for me every day, and they in the gym with me, so they know all the work I put in, and they put me in the right spots and trust me as well.
Sure. You mentioned your coaches. Coach Ty White, who was a national coach of the year. Coach Blackwell, Coach Doobie, Coach Devon Maxwell was a high-level player in his day and went pro. You made a change in school from Catholic to Petersburg. How did you fit in, and how did they welcome you, and how did you adjust to it all?
The adjustment was rough, but I had coaches and I had support and I had the city behind me to help me adjust, and it was a blessing. Everybody rallied behind me, and the support was amazing. So it just allowed me to change the transition to be smoother.
You use the words like blessing and amazing. I imagine that's how you feel about the recruiting process. You're getting a bunch of offers. Fill me in. I know you've gotten like Florida International, I think it is.
Yes, sir.
Oklahoma State, Old Dominion. Who's in the picture? I know more are going to be watching and probably offering soon.
I know Liberty's in the picture, VCU's in the picture, and I hope more schools can reach out, you know, and it's a blessing to have all the coaches that believe in me on the highest level.
I remember you in Virginia Beach as an 8th grader going into high school. You watched basketball and loved the game. Did you have any dream schools growing up? Or
the dream of mine, UNC. I'm a Michael Jordan fan, so okay. I like fan of the Bulls, UNC. I love everything UNC.
Good deal. What do you like about basketball? What do you like about this game?
I like the way the ball dribbles. I like the sound of the net. I like the sound of the rim. Everything about basketball is just it just makes it feel. I feel at peace playing basketball.
Sure, come on, let you run. What's different in your game now than say 8-12 months ago? What's kind of been the difference in your play? Because it's like you're elevating your game, and I know you probably don't pay too much attention to rankings, but you're now regarded as a top 100 prospect in your class. So you put a lot of work to get there. What's different about it?
All the coaches that just believed in me. Coach Maxwell got in the gym with Coach Maxwell, worked on my shot, and my playmaking ability, my ball handling ability, and just on my overall basketball game.
Sure. And lastly, what are the things you're trying to work on this coming year? Because certainly you guys win a state championship. I imagine back-to-back's the goal, but you have goals in the summer and winter coming up moving forward.
A lot of my goals are to be a better leader for my teammates, to be a better to be that voice that my teammates hear in a positive way and not a negative way.
Watch out for him. Class of 2028, Kelvin Pop Anderson from Petersburg and Team Loaded. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
We're not only live every Saturday, but we're sometimes live at Sunday morning here at 1 a.m. You heard from Kelvin Pop Anderson there at the East Coast Live. Coach Ed Young, I am Matthew Hatfield. He certainly was a standout in the very first game that Petersburg played. You heard him. I mentioned some of the school we saw, a lot of the college coaches watching him. Kansas State was taking a look at him. You mentioned Liberty. They were taking a look at him. You mentioned North Carolina in a dream school. Michael Jordan, his favorite player. So all kinds of great action, and we'll go through some of the standouts from the event. Found the winner of the George Marshall Kings Fork and George Marshall basketball. Yes, we were there. That was 2 weeks ago for Sports Talk. George Marshall beat Smith, lost a close one to Kings Fork. George Marshall's pretty good with a couple of their guys, and Trey Leonardo, who we played on the show last week. And if you missed it, folks, it'll be on our television replay, I think, coming up next week as well. And Jackson Frazier, the point guard for Coach Jerry Lynn's Statesman, who I think have a couple more games on Sunday, and I believe one of them is against your buddy Kenny Harris and the Green Run Stallions, if I'm not mistaken. On Sunday, they played them. They played was it EC Glass, I think, earlier today, but a lot of good teams. I know your favorite player, and I want to speak for you. Your favorite player in the event, if I'm not mistaken, correct me here, is a guy who's not from Virginia, who once played at the Christ School, plays at Myers Park now, is a top 100 prospect. I think had back-to-back 34-point games, including against Petersburg, and that's Thomas Vickery. Thomas Vickery, who has got NC State and Wake Forest beating down the doors to get him.
Yes, and if I heard correctly from somebody today, Clemson is going to offer, has offered.
Okay.
I think he's an ACC type player. Caught my attention quickly. Kept my attention when he put down a monstrous full court dunk on Petersburg in traffic, getting hit, no foul call, and looked back at the opponent that he dunked on and gave like a little wink. So he'll dish it out and take it. He no problem doing it. Can shoot the jumper, drive it. Not physically imposing. I think about 6'6", maybe 200 pounds at that. But he has it looks like he has great IQ, great court sense, and he's screening people. He's moving. He's talking on defense. Caught my attention. It'd be like he'd be a joy to coach. And I do really like him, and I can see him playing the ACC. And let me say this about Pop Anderson, who we just talked about. That kid has one of the what I call strong shots in this whole tournament, 110 teams or so. Strong shot. He's very confident. He doesn't have no wobble. There's no air ball. It's close to the rim action on his shot. And he's a tough kid who wants the ball in clutch. If that kid was 6'5", 6'6", he would be big time ACC. Not that he isn't. He's a Division I prospect, and he has a lot of really good schools on him. I like that kid a whole lot too.
So, but if I get it right, you think the only thing keeping him from elite top 50 to 5-star status is if he was 6'6", whereas he's probably more of a 3 to 4-star guy that's in that mid to high major area right now.
Yeah,
and that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, maybe, and he plays defense. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you right now, on a good Petersburg team, to me, and this is even over the well-known point guard King Baycott, he's the guy has to be on that floor at crunch time, and the go-to guy.
They're more perimeter driven now that Latrell Allman is obviously gone, and Oklahoma State, McDonald's All-American, and Ladarius Javon also graduated, the big man. And look, the perimeter trio of Cam Claiborne, King Baycott, who's really good, by the way. He's just a tough, hard-nosed point guard. And King Baycott with Kelvin Pop Anderson makes Petersburg very formidable and a favorite in Class 3 once again. But there's a lot of the good players that can score the ball effortlessly in this event. I think one of the first guys that jumped out at me right off the bat was a kid from James River, Bodie Corley. Big guy for James River. He got above the rim. He's got some skill in the post. I know you're a fan of him. A lot of good talent from the Richmond area. You'll hear from Brady Burnett coming up in just a moment from St. Christopher's. That kid is a shooter. We wrote in our preview on VirginiaPreps.com that he might be the best shooter in the gym. I know Hanley's Will Brondwin, who is committed to Mount St. Mary's, will be in that conversation too. He's coming up on almost 200 3-pointers made in his high school career going into his fourth year. He's coming off an injury too. But Troy Tomlin at John Marshall, where Ty White once coached, and a couple of those Crimson Wave guys like Claiborne once played at. He is a lethal scorer, like 27, 28 points per game in Class 2. I know he had a couple 20-point games. And then in the 757, a number of kids to shout out. I don't want to leave guys out, but certainly from Woodside, who I know you were really impressed with. You watched more of them than I did, but they got a foursome with Trenton Smalling, who made some great plays defensively, Donnell Deuce-Jared, who's been a part of some championship runs, MJ Montague, and Jane Dietrich. And I don't even leave out Wayne Santos, the PG. So really a quintet, not just a quartet of guys for Steph Welsh's team. Trey Barnhart at Kellum. I mean, he's constantly putting 20-plus points. I won't say which school, but I had a college coach that told me he's the most impressive guard that he has seen anywhere in Virginia this offseason. And he put up a 40-point game at Norfolk State team camp with a running clock. Quentin Cruz from your old school, Nansemond River, he's the go-to guy for Joe Hassel's Warriors. Makai Mitchell inside's a factor. And then Rashad Shaw at Lansdowne, he gets above the rim. A lot of really good players. I'm probably going to leave some guys out. Jordan Garland caught my eye from Heritage Leesburg today. That's up in Northern Virginia. He's a really good player. But, I mean, there's just so many players. And then, by the way, a former 757 guy who's now at one of the private schools as premier in the state, coached by Cade Lemke, who helps organize this event along with Chad Edwards from the BCAV, he of Spotswood. But Isaiah Goodson, formerly of Princess Anne, now at Blue Ridge. Blue Ridge is loaded with talent. They've got maybe 6 or 7 Division I guys. They are huge on the front line. And I think they might be like 0-3 or 1-2 in this event, Ed. And that's because they played some really good competition. They're no slouch. And they had a 4-peat in VISAA state championships, which included a COVID year. But think about those private school heavyweights in Virginia for a minute. You got Paul VI, where Damian Robinson's now at from Lansdowne, also where Brian Mitchell once played at from Verina. You got Blue Ridge. You got Highland, who we'll see on Sunday. They got a top 100 kid in their class of 2028 in Isaiah Carter. And you have Bishop O'Connell. Like, you got some monster teams in the Division I, II ranks in private school hoops in VA. It is just stacked. And a lot of good players, a lot of good teams, and even more college coaches than last time. 12 courts compared to 4 courts, which we had 2 weeks ago. It's triple the action, triple the fun, and I'm spinning and dizzy from seeing it all and talking about it all.
For a basketball junkie, it's tremendous. You can walk around and see 12 games at a time in 10 different time slots. Games are all roughly about on the hour. It's been well run. Not too far behind. Officiating's been okay. No fisticuffs. No bad incidents. And when you have this many teams from like 6 different states, and the team from Ohio, Osborne Academy, good God Almighty, that looks like a college team. 6'7", 6'8" front line, 6'4" point guard, strong team. Of course, they have a couple kids that I think are 3 years. Looks like they're 4 years younger than me. That's another story. You have that kind of competition. Things can get a little out of hand, but that hasn't happened. Well run, and again, a basketball junkie. Even though it's only June, we come in here and see this. You're looking at a ton of college players, a whole lot of Division I's, and I'll say probably a dozen future NBA type players out of this whole group. And that's what you get to see out here.
That's a lot to say a dozen. I don't know if we'll get that many, but I wouldn't be surprised that we have multiple. I mean, and speaking of which, you just lead me into my next segment, my next segue, which we'll talk about. And I got to give I'm taking his graphic he's got up there on his Facebook page, Everett Watkins from Virginia for the World. And that is 3 players that played their high school basketball. They just got drafted. We'll touch on the draft here in the next segment. Tyler Nickel from East Rockingham. Nate Ament, who started out at Colgan and went to Highland School, who we'll see on Sunday. He went to Tennessee. First-round draft pick. Goes to the Milwaukee Bucks as part of that swap that involved Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, and Malik Brown, who played at Blue Ridge, played in my VA Preps Classic as well. He goes to, I think it was Syracuse first, then Duke in the ACC. Was just, I remember watching him in Team Loaded 16 under, and I remember telling Kay Lemke, Time, and Ty White, and then I'm like, I very seldom have seen a kid defend like he can, and that's what he's going to be in the NBA. Second round pick, goes to the Spurs, great organization just to be that, defend all 5 spots on the floor, doesn't care about scoring, can get an occasional bucket here and there, but he's just a really good player. I think it's going to be a glue guy that stays in the league. But we'll touch on that in a moment when we come back from break. But before we do head to break, I did tease Mr. Brady Burnett of St. Christopher's. Would you like to hear what he had to say? The sniper from the Saints of St. Chris?
Yeah, let's see what Brady had to say.
This is a smart kid here, smart cookie, right here on Cova Sports TV.
I'm here with St. Christopher's 2027 shooting guard Brady Burnett, the East Coast Live at the Henrico Sports and Events Center here in the heart of Richmond. More than 140 schools, Brady, VHSL, VISAA, teams from outside of Virginia. What's the bump been like in the spring and summer here for you? Off-season travel tour, you're getting better, it seems like, and you're playing pretty well in front of these college coaches.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's been solid all around, like a lot of good teams. I'm really excited for Sunday, Highland. That'll be a real test. We got a whole new group. Like, I don't know if people are familiar. We lost Darius, whole new group, so it's really fun. We're pushing it up and down, and we're doing solid.
Yeah, I was speaking with Coach Jones earlier. You lose that big 5-star football lineman to South Carolina in the middle. It seems like your team, and this is going to end your style of your game. You thrive on 3-point shots. You've been known as one of the best snipers in Virginia. But the thing I liked about this game was you got your 22 points there, so you hit your threes. You didn't hit them early, but you got everybody else involved. How much do you think on more of a leadership role to get the ball moving and show you're not a one-trick pony?
Yes, sir. Senior captain this year, I think I'm taking full advantage of getting into the paint now and kicking corners. I got guys that can move around. A lot of faster players on our team this season. So, we're really running. Coach's emphasis on running. So we're trying to run and get up, and I'm getting in there and just dishing it out, trying to help my team.
Sure, you've been one of the more accomplished private school players in 3 years here of high school ball. Your dad was a pretty good player in his day. I know the high academic institutions look at you. Tell us what's looking like in the classroom for you, GPA-wise, and what you want to study in college.
I'm right around like a 3.5 GPA, so doing solid A's and B's. Study-wise, I'm looking at finance, stuff like that. My dad's in commercial real estate, so we're going to go into that with him more than likely when the ball stops bouncing.
Not bad. Are you hearing from some of those Patriot, Ivy type schools? Who's in the mix right now?
Yes, sir. A lot of Ivies, Harvard, Princeton, Patriot League, like Lafayette and everything. So schools just like that.
What are the things you're looking for in a college basketball home? Because you really put yourself on the radar Division I. I think you've got some offers here lately, right?
Yes, sir. Really just looking for somewhere I can, develop. I'm not looking to hop around schools personally. I want to find somewhere where I can play and make an impact and just have a legacy there.
Okay, for young kids out there, and you're still a young kid, but how do you become, if not the best shooter in the state, one of the best shooters in the state? What would you kind of say is the key to your success as a shooter?
Just constant reps, man. It's every day shooting, whether it's just form shooting one day, if you don't have a lot of time, just seeing the ball go through the net, that's all it is, man. Just work.
Sure. You watch the hoops on TV, right?
Yes, sir.
Who are the guys you study when you watch? Are you like a Klay Thompson or Steph Curry or somebody else?
Klay Thompson, Luke Kennard, guys like that. So guys that are, shooting but also cutting off the ball. I think once I get to college, there's going to be a lot of off-ball movement for me, getting shots off flares and things like that. So really just studying actions like that, especially in college basketball. Sure, stuff like that.
What are you checking at height and weight rise?
About 6'2", 6'3", and like 160, 165.
What are the next things in your game you're trying to improve on for this coming season and also your own individual development for the next level?
Really just want to develop more into a point guard, actually. Like I want to be able to handle the ball. And, I can be a 2, but if the point guard subs out, I want to be able to fill that role and take over handling the ball and facilitating like I'm trying to do now.
Sure. I know obviously there's some goals for the offseason here, the travel circuit coming up, this winter for St. Christopher's, winter from a big crowds like this event. What are the things that you want to kind of come before you get to that next level of things as far as leaving your legacy, if you will?
I want to win the Prep League again. This past year, got it done first time since 2000 for our school. So I want to go back to back. That'll be the first time in school history. Really eyeing that Prep League Player of the Year this year. So Prep League awards are definitely a big thing, and All-State hopefully coming.
Big goals for Brady Burnett of St. Christopher's. Thank you so much. All the best.
Yes, sir.
How about that young man, Brady Burnett? Refreshing, Ed, to hear him say, I'm not looking to hop around from school to school, and he's got his life set up with the ball. I mean, he was one of the brightest interviews we've had, and you can see he's cut out for success on the hardwood and beyond.
Smart kid, well-mannered, handled his interview well. Looks like one of them would be the last pickup in a pickup game on a playground. But he takes the big shot. He directs traffic well, plays defense, so he gets knocked around a lot. And you heard him talking about Ivy League type school, Patriot type. That means the kid has well over a 4.0 GPA. And I've said this in the past, When you take Matt Hatfield's high school grades, times it by 5, you'll get close to a 4.0 for him. So he understands the work it would take to get a 4.0. And that's a kid you really want to see succeed because he's earned it. I mean, he's really earned it. He's worked for it. And there's a few kids like him in this tournament. Scraggly looking, not real strong built, but have strong shots, not afraid to take it, got grades. And to hear a kid that says, I'm not looking to bounce around to 3 or 4 schools, unheard of in today's college basketball.
Yeah, it is pretty surprising. And we're going to come back and finish the show with an edition of Buy or Sell. We might go a few minutes after 1 a.m. 5 questions, mixture of sports, a couple NBA draft. But your quick take on the Virginia guys. We put it up on the screen. Brown, Ament, Nickel. Nickel goes to the Knicks, by the way, second rounder. Probably G League-ish. And Brown might even be in G League first. But I think Nate Ament, I thought he was a top 10 guy. I'm surprised. I think the Bucks did quite well for themselves. I mean, you consider they lose Giannis, but to come out of that draft, first of all, they got some good components back in the Giannis trade. You bring in Tyler Hero, who's a legit scorer. But you look back at that draft, Ed, and they get not just Nate Ament, who's a top 10 talent, they also were able to get Braden Burries from Arizona, the guard. So they might have 2 building blocks from this draft. And, they got something out of the Giannis deal, which Boston, didn't pull out. I think they're set up all right. And then it's great to see these 3 Virginia kids move on to the NBA. I think it's really cool. Now,
when we look at these 3, I do say good morning to Jim Heath too. Now, Jim, I hope Jim ain't up and doing stuff. This guy works too hard.
I'm sure he's typing up some statistical report, but he's saying, why are these 2 Yahoo bozos going right now?
Jim, put the computer away, go back to bed, get up tomorrow, go to church.
He's got one of the old reruns on the tube and us on the side on the laptops.
Yeah, he's doing too much. He's probably looking at some old 8mm tapes too. He's got to calm down, Jimmy. Malik Brown, great pick for San Antonio. Now remember, this is a team that's averaging like 23 years old. So they bring in a youngster. Another youngster who they can bring off.
Oh, well, he's probably older than a couple of draft picks. He's been around a little bit.
He won't have to, perform early. He could spend a little time in the G League. So it's kind of like a pick that San Antonio is known for this. We don't need him now, but when he's ready, he'll be ready. When we need him, he'll be really ready. Mm-hmm. That's how I look at that. Nate Ament, yes, tremendous talent.
We need to go to a Pilots baseball game, but go ahead, continue on.
Tremendous talent. He needs to build his body up without question. He's not ready for the pounding. Well,
he also had a couple of injuries. It's a good point. Remember late in the year, he had the ankle, right? Was it ankle? I think it was ankle, yeah.
He's still got a boyish body. But again, for what Milwaukee's trying to do now, they will want him to play sooner than somebody like Malik Brown for San Antonio. So he's one they're going to invest a lot in. Mm-hmm. Tyler Nickel is the kind of in the middle. He's going to a team that won the title. They're going to need a few new pieces. Don't know if he'll get much PT, but again, he's a scorer. Okay, can shoot it really well. And no team is going to overlook that on their roster. And the Knicks can use that. He's not overly athletically gifted, but from all intent reports, his defense is better than average. At the collegiate level. Now, he moved around a little bit in the collegiate level, but once again, today's college basketball, that's the rule, not the exception.
He was at Carolina, Tech, and Vinny. I disagree with you on about 20 to 30%. Your assessments are mostly spot on. And Ament does have to mature physically some. I don't think it's as boyish a body as I think he's made strides in that department. And in Nickel's case, I think he's more the long-term developmental piece than, say, a Brown. I think Brown, because he defends so well in different spots, can just find a niche, even if it's in a short burst. Whereas Nickel could, he could have an upside to him, but I don't know that he'll get a whole lot of NBA. I think it's amazing he got drafted at a little East Rockingham high school, and there was a lot of doubters about that kid, more doubters even than say Ament or Brown in their cases. But it'll be fun to watch and track how these youngsters do as they move forward in their journeys. But we come back, we'll put the finishing touches on this very condensed, shortened version of 757 Sports Talk. And again, if you don't know about our show, it's the first time you're checking us out, you're unfamiliar with us, we're usually on Saturdays 10 a.m. to noon. Have to adjust sometimes in the summertime, time to time, and they can watch us on the TV screen. Towel or no towel. We don't say like the steam room, leave the towel on. We don't care about that. And pool or no pool. But we just hope you have a good time and you check us out. We'll come back.
And we're very cautious about who we get caught on the elevator with, because not while I'm in here, we're doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that's a story for another time.
That's right. We'll come back and do buy or sell right here on Cova Sports TV. Now this, from those that don't make it possible.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
That's something Ed would do. Ed, one year, didn't you? You had a funny story. I remember with Mark Butts at team camp. Mark will come. I'm sure Mark is watching this. Former First Colonial coach in Virginia Wesleyan Hall of Fame will come on. You guys did something where you got ejected, or you did something with a referee. Oh, you shake your head now. You did something that was. It was Kendall Hayes-esque.
I got kicked out of a summer league game or team camp. A summer league game it was. Boo Williams Sportsplex, and the reason it was, referee made a call. Team scored on us. We took the ball out of bounds. We threw it inbounds. All of a sudden, the referee come running over. Hold on. I got a foul on red 23. I said, we just threw the ball in bounds. No, coach. It was on the previous play on the shot. I said, they made the shot. We took it out of bounds. What are you talking about? Coach, it was a young guy. He goes, Coach, you have to understand, we have to see a play all the way through before we make a call.
What?
I said, you couldn't have seen nothing on that situation, Tech. I said, you can't call Tech. That doesn't help you. I'm trying. This is a team camp. I'm trying to help you because the referee, supervisor officials were there. They were, evaluating officials. So I said, you delayed too long. We're not going to play. I'm not going to accept the technical. Second Tech, you're out. I said, I'm not going nowhere. It's a summer league game. Coach, you got to go. I said, I'm going to tell you one more time. I ain't going nowhere. And I didn't. So they walked off the court. So I grabbed the ball and I said to Mark Butts, first Colonial coach who were playing, I said, Mark, it's only about 2 minutes ago. Let's finish this up. Mark goes, Ed, I can't do this. And I'm like, all right, I'll referee myself. Now I got slides on. And I'm at midcourt. I said, all right, inbound, let's go, let's play. And Boo Williams comes in and Boo's like, what's going on?
Boo's hysterical to this day about this story too, by the way.
And I said, Boo, officials left the court, so, I'm just going to go ahead and finish. I said, I can't do any worse. He said, Ed, no, we can't do this. Oh, my God. So we stopped the game. Now, here's the good part.
Saying that too.
Term, here's the good part. Duke Edsel, who's a very good official, ACC guy, he was evaluating the officials. He come to me after the game. I said, Duke, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to play. He said, no, Ed, I'm coming down and telling you, you were right. You're 100% right. He made a bad call. He delayed it too long. The technicals were too quick, weren't needed. He said, I just wanted to see if you want to get a referee's license for 2 minutes. You're a pretty damn good official. I said, no, I don't want that headache.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
For those that are watching through CBG on the stream or make it to the Henrico Sports Events Center, they will not see Ed Young officially, nor will they see him get ejected for doing something wild with his team, because he doesn't have a Smithfield Packers team, but he is taking notes. He is taking stock of everything happening, and he does plan to be back with a vengeance, coaching on the sidelines in an event, a team camp, summer league, you name it, all those different great things, fall league, anything. And he's also assessing the players to see who will decide to enroll at Smithfield High School. We won't say recruiting or transfers, we just enroll. It's a very simple enrolling process, right?
I had about 7 coaches ask me in the 2 days we've been here. A couple college coaches, Coach, where's your team? And it's very simple, people. I'm not hiding anything. I don't have enough players. Some coaches aren't here because their best player is not available. I don't have enough players. I have 3 returning varsity players. And our backcourt is good. So if I can get a 6'3", 6'4" kid somewhere whose family happens to move into the Smithfield High School district.
Is that why you're in the lobby? You're checking to see who comes in the hotel?
Yep, I put a sign up. They would get instant playing time as like 30 minutes a game. They're going to get coached hard, but they're going to get coached well. And we're going to make sure their academics are straight. And we're going to make sure if they're good enough, there will be a place for them to play the next level. So anybody out there that might be looking to go into the high school portal, and there is one, and you're going to move to this, and we got some beautiful new apartments and homes being built in Smithfield. You would not believe it. I'm just public service announcement. There is great opportunity. And I would love to bring my team here next year to East Coast Live, Virginia Live, wherever. Our kids need to experience this, but I don't have enough players. You can't get into an event like this and then you have 4 players. You need 5 to start a game. Then you pull out and you mess up the whole business. So I can't do that. And that's why we're not here. It's not that I'm afraid, we're going to get here, we're going to get smacked. It's an opportunity for our kids to keep getting better, learn what it takes to play at this kind of level, and to get our kids seen. So, and I got a point guard that's pretty good that I think can play D3 ball for sure. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. He can play the point.
Tim Giles, right?
Jimmy Giles, right. Mm-hmm. And I got a 3-man who missed all last year with a torn ACL, who's progressing greatly and is going to be given the go-ahead, I think, after the dead period. And he was our leading scorer in the preseason until he tore his knee. 6'2" senior Isaiah Elliott. So we'll be okay. It's just I have no size. If I can get some size. And I watched New Kent playing yesterday, today. They're bringing up 3 kids, 6'7" or bigger.
Oh, they're big, yeah.
And they're in our district. So,
well, I did see a 6'8" kid in the parking lot who hasn't gone to school just yet, and he said he'll come somewhere if you just give him some gummies.
Gummies, crystal clear water.
There you go.
We give you an NIL deal with Hershey candy bar. Yeah,
I heard there was an NIL person in the building. I don't know who that was exactly, but maybe you can buddy up to that fella and get some brewing, get something worked up.
We'll see what we can do. Let's
play some buy or sell as we better do here, so you can get some shut eye. I gotta be at that treadmill in about 2-3 hours here. Buy or sell. First one is soccer related. Either France or Argentina. Oh, that should say plus 360, I think, not 390 on France. So we'll get that fixed here in just a moment. It's now plus 330, so we'll actually get that fixed as we speak. It's not 390.
Yeah, you're going to have people bet with the wrong
numbers. No, either one of these 2 favorites presently to win the World Cup, are you going to buy that or are you going to sell that? So it's a little interesting.
I'm going to buy it. I don't think a 3rd or 4th team is going to sneak by with those 2 teams. I'm going to buy it. One of those 2 teams wins the World Cup.
I'm selling it. I've been on Spain, and I think our man James Clark told us Brazil. Even someone told me recently Portugal's got a shot at this thing. England's there at plus 650. You're giving me the field or two countries. I'm going to take the field. Because I don't think those 2. This is not like. Remember the year in college basketball? I think David Teal told us this, if I remember right. And if it wasn't you, Teal, I apologize. I thought it was you. It may have been somebody else. It might have been Chuck Culpepper. But it was the year Gonzaga and Baylor met, and we asked, would you take those 2 of the field? And they said, we'll take those 2 of those 2. I don't think France and Argentina are that much separated from the field. So I'll take the field in this case. Next up, buy or sell. The Dodgers will make it back to the World Series for a 3rd straight year. They beat your Yankees. They beat the Blue Jays. Now, if they make it back to a 3rd straight year, I'm not totally sure it's against an AL East team. Sorry, Yankees, Rays, Jays, Boston, Baltimore. You can kiss it goodbye. Oh, the Red Sox have had their number, the Yankees number this weekend. The Dodgers, though, in the National League, they're such an overwhelming favorite. They put up, 14-15 runs Saturday night against the Padres to bounce back after they were beaten. What do you think, LA, with that Murr's Row lineup with Ohtani, who pitches, by the way, trying to get Cy Young, with Freeman and Betts and Pages and Muncy and Edman, so many guys. Who do you get out in that lineup? Or would you say the Brewers, Braves, again, Dodgers are the field? What are you taking in the National League?
If the easy answer is you buy it. The Dodgers are that strong. They're built for this. Ohtani's is a gem. But something is crawling in the back of my mind saying, watch out for the Brewers. I picked the Braves to win the East, and I thought the Braves could give the Dodgers a big run. I think they need to pick up a good arm, maybe Skubal at the trade deadline. But the Brewers, who do not look like a overwhelming anything, but they have good young pitching, they hit timely hitters, they play great defense. They're a type of team I can see, and we've seen this in the past. Teams win 110 games regular season and get beat in the first round of the playoffs. And we're thinking, what? I can see Milwaukee doing it, so I'm going to sell the Dodgers.
See, you're trying to be very clever and slick and cover your hinding, your backside. And I'm going to tell you why you are. You say, no, I'm being innocent. I'm being honest here. Because, folks, we did a thing called Parlay Palooza last week on the program. In fact, I might pop it up on the screen. Here it is. This was Ed's Parlay Palooza to take off the banner. And that was his Parlay Palooza. And I was going to do mine this week, but we'll do it next week because my Parlay Palooza is similar to his. I'll just tell you, folks. Bills and Rams, yeah. I had the Brewers. I have the Mariners. And my college football is another team. I won't say that who that is, just I'm going to keep on suspense. It's not Texas. And it's not an SEC school. So you probably know what conference the school's coming from, but you might not know what team it is from that conference. But anyhow, he then says, no, change that. I don't want to do the Rays. I want to do the Mariners. So he's taking it from my page, like he copied the NFC AFC. And now he's copying my National League pick by saying, oh, no, see, I had the Brewers, but then I had the Braves here. He likes to bounce around, folks. So he's very, very slick. This is what coaches, we call him calculated. We call him sneaky. We call him a trickster.
2 weeks ago, this was correct. Things change.
They do change.
Don't evolve with change. You get changed. Ask Mendoza with the Mets.
By the way, I'm going to shout out more people watching us at 1 a.m. I did this earlier with Coach Rowe and Coach Manton. Shout out to my man Maurice from the Eagles of Lansdowne, your buddy Fresh Simmons. I think that's your guy Jamar. Justin Hunter, former NFL receivers, watching us. The new Deep Creek Girls coach, Coach Purvey. I'm shouting all these people watching us on IG. So appreciate you.
Fresh is up. My man Fresh is watching.
I think it's him unless somebody's using his account. Now I don't know. You know Jamar. We love Jamar. He hangs up. Maybe somebody's watching from his. I don't know, but I think it's him.
Come on, Fresh. If that is Fresh, I have done wrong.
But again, we can't. I can go look at the IG comments. I can't put them on the screen. We're working on that with our streaming device.
Fresh is a recently married man. He should be sleeping with his bride.
I didn't say that. I was trying to say I said something wrong here. Be nice. But buy or sell. I'm gonna one up you on this. So I'm gonna say, because I can't stand the Dodgers. I'm gonna buy this, and the reason I'm gonna buy this is after their outburst this week, it has come to my attention, as much as I loathe them, that I think pitchers in baseball, especially bullpens, even the best of them, are just afraid of these guys. They can't get them out. And in a 5 or 7 game series, I don't see these dudes going home. They're going to get the 1 seed again. They're going to get there. But I do think that someone in the AL could dethrone them. I don't know who that team is yet. Maybe it's the Mariners, but that's just too good. They're too good.
And to your answer, mark my words, the Dodgers at the deadline are probably going to pick up a Skubal, even though I said maybe. I can see the Dodgers doing it because it's a rental, it's a short rental, and then they will talk about trying to sign him for next year. They've got more money than Fort Knox, so
they do.
You're right. Wherever they have a weakness, they can go out and offer something great. And the Giants are supposed to get rid of everybody. And they've got Devers, Rafael Devers hitter. I could see him going to the Dodgers. being another hitter for them.
You're not going to trade from the Dodgers. That's like the Yankees and Red Sox making a trade. That's not happening.
I know.
Now
but money talks, and the Dodgers have it.
Something's in your liquid over there. Number 3 on our list here.
Some good H2O.
Yes, I got some good sparkling ice. It is sparkling ice. Don't worry. They don't sponsor the show, but I give them a shout out. Darren Peterson, Kansas. Much ballyhoo talked about. He goes behind AJ DeBonson, right ahead of Cameron Boozer. What do you mean? What are you doing this for? We'll win Rookie of the Year. Squinch in your face. He of Utah. Buy or sell? I'll go first for this one. I'm going to buy it. Not because I used to be a Jazz fan with Stockton and Malone as my guys, but because I think he is extra motivated to prove people that he should have been number 1. He's got the chip on his shoulder. And I think he's set up there. And the difference with him and DeBonson, I think DeBonson's a good fit for the Wizards. But I think Trae Young's going to handle the ball a lot more. He's getting $200+ million, right? I think Peterson's going to step into a team where they can make the play-in, not the playoffs, but play-in, be this year's version of the Charlotte Hornets, who said bye-bye to Mr. Ball. And I think the Jazz could hover around 38, 40 wins, and Peterson be a big reason why. They have a good nucleus, young nucleus with some guys on that team, the Markkanens, the Georges. I'm buying this. I think he's Rookie of the Year. And he has Kobe-like qualities, like I told you all last week. He doesn't always play, he's not always reliable, but when he's at his best, he's darn good. Great.
Sell it.
You're selling it.
You took the field on the soccer. I'm taking the field on this, and specifically a guy who started the year as everybody's number 1 pick and didn't really do anything to hurt himself. Player of the year in college basketball. Cameron Boozer, Memphis Grizzlies.
Do you think he's Rookie of the Year? Really? I'm not a big Boozer as a great pro guy, but we'll see. If you're right, I will buy Willie Gauze the steak that you owe him. How about that? I'll take the steak off your hands. No.
That's my bet, my steak. I'm getting Willie the steak.
I mean, Willie's wondering, you're going to be dead and buried by the time you buy this steak.
Well, in my will, I'll leave him a whole.
You'll leave in your will a whole steak in your will.
Whole few steak dinners. So he's going to get him one way or the other. He might say he'd be better off if I'm dead.
I say that you guys guarantee that you'll both come to Virginia Live or the East Coast Live next year with your teams, and then you buy them a steak afterwards. Smithville and Phoebus can play each other. You're both in class 4.
Be probably late night steak, but we could do that.
Yeah, you can do that. We'll get to one last buy or sell that has to do with high school basketball in a second, but we have one more NBA draft in buy or sell, and that wants to know, you're going to buy Darius Acuff leading all rookies in scoring next season?
I'm going to say no because I'm going to go with your guy, Peterson with Utah. He's going to be a major factor for them.
But you know, percentages in the odds, like you said, give me the field or one guy, I'm going to take the field. But
yeah, I'm going to go Peterson in terms of best scoring rookie. But I'll tell you what, Boozer won't be far behind, because he's going to be a feature attraction in that lineup for Memphis. So, and he's going to be a scorer too. Acuff, I'm a little nervous about injuries.
Doesn't defend great. He can score with the best.
And we're talking about scoring, so I'm not worried about too much on the defense side.
Right.
And a lot of these guys, the big question is going to be, can they go 82 games? Because in college, regular season is 30 games.
They now play 58, 64, 70 games. I'm not as pressed about that. I think these kids play, and from high school to A, they play enough.
Why do we have load management? Just letting you know. But these kids are softer nowadays.
That's front office people. That's a whole topic for another. We'll get somebody on that's in NBA circles to talk about that, because that's you keep pointing at the players. That's more on management people. I'm telling you. I mean, look at Keldon Johnson, a guy who's played 82 games for how many? There's guys that want to do it. It's management stuff.
I'm blaming it a lot on the players themselves.
Yeah, because that's what you coaches do. You always point the fingers at the players, never yourself or the front office people.
First of all, I'm telling the owner, I'm good. I want to play. I'm all right. I'm healthy. Now, if a guy's hurt a little bit, okay, but most of these guys aren't hurt. It's amazing what transformation that happens. Guys play hard, go hard in college. All of a sudden, when they become pros, they become baby-fied prima donnas. They They don't want to do a whole lot of autograph signing. They don't want to be this or that. They want to sit out 15 games. It's amazing how they work so hard in college, but now in pros, they want to sit back. There's no 2-a-day practices anymore, ever. There is only X amount of practices they have once the season starts, and it's their right not to practice.
Because all you fuddy-duddies overkilled it years ago and want to wear these guys to the bone dry. Look, you talk about sissified or babyfied, whatever you said. Look, that's from upstairs in front office. It's called protecting your investment. You don't want these guys to blow out a knee. Look at the pitchers in baseball. They don't want them to get hurt because they're getting millions and millions of dollars.
Half the
It's
NBA,
front office people, not the players. It's front office people.
Half the NBA protecting their assets when probably their first 3 letters should be cut because they suck. Most of these teams suck to begin with, and
I don't
they
disagree with that.
Yeah, and they create their own this idea of tanking, which now we're trying to do a better job of eliminating. That word should never even be happening in sports, but the NBA is first and foremost out front of all this stuff, more so than the NFL. So my thing is, yeah, I'm blaming it on players because that's where it starts. I've always said this, even in my own coaching. If my players are doing what's expected of them and they win, go talk to them. They won the game. They did the job. If they don't do what's expected of them, they don't play hard, they don't play together, and we lose, go talk to them. It's their fault. Well, Coach Young, when is it your fault when they lose? It's my fault if I don't prep them correctly. Let's say Hatfield's team plays all zone defense, which probably they would if he coached. And I prepare us for straight man-to-man pressure, and we don't see none of that. And we look like hell against that zone. That's Young's fault for not preparing them right. But if I prepare them right for that zone, and we didn't attack the zone the right way, we didn't shoot the ball the right way, and we lose, you can go interview the players and ask them why they didn't do what they were supposed to do. That's how I look at it.
Are you judge and jury? It's up to your discretion to figure out who gets to blame. Like, what's the deal?
Absolutely right. That's how it is.
I got a problem with that. But
I'm not one of these righteous coaches that say after every loss, oh, that's on me and my staff. We have to do a better job. Well, how come if you're losing that many times and it's always your fault, then your ass needs to get fired because you're not doing your job. But if you're doing your job and the players aren't, now you can come back to me and say, well, that's your fault too. You're not getting them ready. They're not playing together. They're not playing hard. That's your fault. Well, I'm not going to have a problem with kids not playing together, not playing hard, because that's automatically going to be happening as my expectations go. We may not be overly talented, but we're going to go at people. We're going to be in shape. We're going to play together. You're going to play hard or you're not going to play, period. So, and I'm not trying to say I never take credit for any mistakes on our team. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm not one of these coaches that's always going to act righteous and say, well, we lost, it's my fault. And when then they win.
Are you buying or selling this question?
I already told you. I sold it 18 minutes ago.
I know, you've been on the rant. I'm buying it because even though the field makes sense, he'll get the most shots up.
Right. I said sell it, you said buy it, and you left it there. I can't take it anymore. You're up too late, man. We got to hurry up and end this because you're just lost.
Last one. There will be at least 4 new VHSL State Boys Basketball Champions in 2027. You going to buy that or sell it? Now, to quickly recap, Class 6 was Westfield, got a new coach.
Not going to win it.
25. Okay. Class 5 was Norview. A lot of new pieces for Rick Foster.
I don't think Rick can get there. I don't think they'll win it. I don't think they're quite as good as they were last year.
Class 4, John Hanley. Go ahead and make Zach Harrells look mad at you just like Rick Foster.
Zach, I hope you're sleeping. I don't see Hanley winning it again this year.
I don't disagree with that. Class 3, it's still their time or turn. Petersburg Crimson Wave.
Though I don't think right now they're as good as they were at this time last year.
Which they were dominant last year.
Yeah, Peter is very dominant. But they can still find a way, I think, to win it. So they would be one I can see.
Right now you've got 3 out of 4. Class 2, the Graham G-Men, who I think they returned their top 3 guys for Coach Todd Baker, Channing DeCibio, Ty Martin, and Campbell Fix. A couple of those guys football at Fix. but they're not in this event yet. They got a good group. Class 2's got some contenders, though. I mean, Central Woodstock, who they played in championship, was good. From our area, Bruton, darn good team. Want to come up? I don't know that Coach Al's got a state championship team, but he's got a team that can contend for a deep regional run in state playoff. John Marshall's got the Tomlin kid. Floyd County's good out west. There's a lot of good teams. So that one's kind of, you're on the fence there, but I'm probably going to start Graham number 1 in the state in my rankings. Probably going to start.
I think you have to. 3 starting returners on state championship team.
I think you do.
I think you have to.
But remember, I wouldn't say they squeaked by, but they had a couple close calls. I think their quarterfinal with Floyd was very tight. Their semi wasn't a total blowout. And Central Wise is good out west, too, by the way, in addition to Floyd and them. And their championship game with Central Woodstock was not a breeze. And they got the Baptiste Lugo kid back. He was in Puerto Rico during the VA Live, but he's darn good. So that one's kind of 50-50. And in Class 1, it was Luray. And they graduated their top couple of guys, including Matthew Owens, who's now at James Madison. So I think there'll be a new champ in Class 1. I'm not convinced or sure who it is. Maybe George Wythe, who won it a couple years ago. We saw Tony Dunford's Maroons of George Wythe there. They'll be in the hunt. There's probably about 6-7 teams that'll be in the hunt. I would take the field over one team, including Luray there. So are you going to go with buy 4 new champions, or are you going to sell this and say there will be at least 3 and you're on the fence? It's a good one here.
Yeah, I think 3 for sure. The only one I feel confident is Petersburg, because I think he'll figure a way out. And I don't think we've seen their finalized roster yet. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna say I'll say 4 out of 6. I'll buy it.
I agree. I think the only repeat options are essentially Graham and Petersburg. And it's possible one of them, more likely Graham than Petersburg, does not repeat. So that would give us potentially 5. So I would buy this as well. It's going to wrap up the show. That will wrap up this particular show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have wrapped up this monstrosity of a broadcast, and all I can tell you is I can't wait to get home tonight.
Thank you, T-Man, in honor of the great Terry Sisiski, longtime voice of the Petersburg Crimson Wave. I am Matthew Hatfield. The other guy in the lobby is Coach Ed Young. Hope he has his room card, because if he doesn't, he's not going to get some sleep tonight unless he's going to be elsewhere.
I thought there was was it a child? Somebody was challenging me about something. You had shown me a video of somebody, Hornswoggle or somebody. What happened to that? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
You were saving. I know what you're talking about.
Coach Young, you better watch out, because I'm coming for you.
That's right. He's coming for you. More on him next week.
I'm being stalked by this little son of a gun.
Yeah, Brock is coming for you.
Okay.
One of those little Nerf guns, too. Coming for you.
Now I got to watch him. I got him and what's it was called? What's the guy with Family Guy?
Little Stewie?
Stewie, remember?
Yeah, because he said.
And now back to Matthew Hatfield and the evil basketball coach. Blast you, Ed Young!
You are the evil basketball coach. So yeah, you got Stewie and Brock looking for you. Maybe they'll find you together, and then it'll be the end of you.
I always get these weird people after me. Where are the babes after me?
They don't want to be. They don't want any part of you.
That's what I'm waiting for.
There's a good reason for that.
They can catch me very easy.
Yeah, well, we're going to say good night to everybody. Hope they have a great weekend. And we will catch you all next time right here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you in July. That's right. July. Great month. The fireworks. See you next week on Independence Day.